We do have some breaking news. Former President Donald Trump is taking the stage at his rally in Charlotte.
As you can see, he is on the stage. He's greeting the crowd. He is heading now towards the podium. We understand from Sydney Shadracks, who is our reporter there at the stadium, that it is standing room only, and there are actually people outside who are trying to get in. There's not space for them, so they are lingering in the parking lot, hoping to hear some of what former President Trump has to say.
Yeah, a lot has happened in the world of politics in the last week. Remember, the Republican National Convention was last week. Former President Trump took the stage on Thursday, which was almost a week ago. Since then, the current president has announced he is not going to run for re-election, and Kamala Harris, the vice president, has basically started the campaign to run for president against Trump. So much has happened, and today the president is in North Carolina.
He is enjoying his moment on the stage, we believe. He's walked to and fro, greeting the folks who are there to hear him speak and to see him in person. We are hearing Lee Greenwood's epic song, God Bless the USA, which has become sort of a theme song for the Trump campaign. He's basking in this moment, and we are prepared to hear him speak any moment.
Yes, you could hear the crowd chanting, and this is the kind of crowd that the former president is hoping to get, especially in a state like North Carolina. North Carolina has been purple for many years, you know, never knowing if it's going to go Democrat or Republican. Lately, it has been Republican on the federal level many times. North Carolina, one of those key swing states that the Trump team is hoping to grab.
Richard.
Here's the former president.
He's one hell of a man. Thank you, Richard. Great honor to be introduced by you, and thank you to a place called North Carolina. And I have these incredible women from North Carolina right over there. And they've been to, I shouldn't tell you, 129 different rallies. Can you believe it? Look how great they look. And their husbands love them. I don't know how the husbands do this. They travel all over, and finally we have one in North Carolina, nice and easy. It's nice and easy for you. No, they're incredible people. 129 rallies, it's great. But it's really tremendous to be back in this beautiful state with thousands and thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. This is a nice arena. How about the people outside that can't get in? That's a lot of people, too. Would anybody like to give up your seat? Would anybody? You're just not generous people. As you know, 3 days ago, we officially defeated the worst president in the history of our country, crooked Joe Biden. He quit because he was losing so badly in the polls. He was down in every single poll and down by a lot, so he quit. But really, what happened was the leaders of the Democrat Party, in a very undemocratic move, the bosses, they said, either you get out or we're going to throw you out using the 25th Amendment. That's what happened. You know that. So, well, you know that. That's what happens. That's what happens. These are nasty people, the Democrats, so we better beat them or we're not going to have a country left. You're not going to have a country left. So now we have a new victim to defeat. Lion Kamala Harris. Lion, L-Y-I-N apostrophe. The most incompetent and far-left vice president in American history. By the way, they did a poll. She was rated the worst vice president in history. I've never seen that poll before, but that's the poll. Together, we will win North Carolina in an epic landslide. We're way ahead in the polls.
Former President Donald Trump on the stage there in Charlotte. Our Sydney Shadracks is at tonight's rally. She will have a full report tonight on WYFF News 4 at 11.